Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now with the main headlines. Shia Rights Watch concerned about increasing anti-Shia actions worldwide. Female-run radio station closed by Taliban for broadcasting music in Ramadan. Celebrations do not stop anti-Muslim violence in India. World Autism Awareness Day, UN Secretary General calls for greater effort. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers. This is Yunus Dawood and you're watching Shia Waves live from Imam Hussein TV 3. The International Organization for the Defense of Shia Rights, Shia Rights Watch, affiliated with the Shirazi World Foundation, issued a report expressing criticism and concern over the increase in anti-Shia actions across the world. In its report, the organization points out to 24 anti-Shia attacks which took place in 24 different cities and countries worldwide within just 1 month. The details of these incidents are documented in Shia Rights Watch's report, which has been published regularly every month for several years. This edition of the report, related to March 2023, reveals the occurrence of crimes against Shi'is and followers of the Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam, mentioning 2 anti-Shi'i acts in Afghanistan, 12 in Bahrain, 1 in Syria, 3 in Saudi Arabia and 6 in Iraq. According to the details published in this report, most of the attacks against Shi'is have been carried out by extremists and Takfiri Sunnis, besides a number of ill actions orchestrated by anti-Shia governments. A radio station run by women in Afghanistan has been shut down after playing music during the holy month of Ramadan. Stated a Taliban official on Saturday, Sadai Banuwan, meaning the voice of women in Dari language, is the only station run by females in the country and began its operation 10 years ago. Muazzuddin Ahmadi, Information and Culture Director of Batikhan Province, claimed that the station violated the laws and regulations of the Islamic Emirates several times by broadcasting music and songs during the blessed month of Ramadan, and was shut down for breaking the law. If this radio station accepts the policy of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan and gives a guarantee that it will not repeat such a thing again, Ahmadi said we will allow it to operate again. Station head Najina Sorosh refused to acknowledge the charge, pointing out that closing down the station was not necessary. She described the authorities' measure as a conspiracy, insisting that the station has not broadcast any kind of music. At least 20 incidents of unprovoked rage occurred across India during Ram Navami, a Hindu celebration supposed to mark the love and peace. Anti-Muslim slogans were chanted, stones were hurled at Muslims and their properties were set on fire in a recent spate of violence perpetrated by Hindu extremists. Mosques have also been the target of religious outrage as angry teenagers desecrated several sites and raised saffron flags in disrespect. It should be noted that Hinduvada movement has been described as a variant of extreme and a separatist ideology. Let us remind our respective viewers of today's headlines. Shia Rights Watch concerned about increasing action against Shi'is worldwide. Female-run radio station closed by Taliban for broadcasting music in Ramadan. Celebrations do not stop anti-Muslim violence in India. Also tonight, Iftar ceremony organized to encourage Muslim-Christian coexistence in Kaduna, Nigeria. Despite significant progress, people with autism continue to face barriers to fully enjoying their fundamental rights and freedoms. UN Secretary General has said in his message regarding World Autism Day, Awareness Day, April the 2nd, Antonio Guterres has called for equal employment opportunities and promotion of inclusive education for people with autism. Autism is a complex and multifaceted development condition of the nervous system, which disrupts processing and perception of information and the effects of development of social interaction, communication, and human behavior. And now we'll continue with some short news. Thanks to efforts made by Imam Hussein Media Group's Department of Public Relations, iftar feasts have been provided to visitors and pilgrims of Imam Hussein alayhi salam for the past few days. This beautiful service in the holy city of Karbala was made possible with generous donations offered by an increasing number of philanthropists and viewers supporting Imam Hussein Media Group. Muslims and Christians advocate unity amid insurgency in Burkina Faso. Dozens of Muslims and Christians come together in Ouagadougou's public square after sunset on Friday to break their fast together, encouraging religious tolerance during Ramadan, as the country suffers from violent rebellions by militant groups linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State. Participants shared food and praise in a symbolic act to reject acts of terrorism which aim to deepen ethnic and religious divisions in the country. Burkina Faso is among West African countries grappling with Islamist insurgency, which took root in Mali and has spread across the region over the past decade. Over 7 million pilgrims perform Umrah ritual during the first 10 days of Ramadan. More than 7 million pilgrims perform Umrah ritual during the first 10 days of Ramadan of the holy month of Ramadan, announced by Salih al-Rashid, a senior director of Royal Commission for the Holy City of Mecca and the Holy Sites. On Saturday, April the 1st, he detailed in his tweet that over 7,400,000 male and female pilgrims convened at the Masjid al-Haram in this period. The first strategic oil refinery in Iraq with the capacity to refine 140,000 barrels of oil per day was officially opened in the presence of Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani. The refinery, which is based in Karbala, started its trial operation last November. This facility produces premium gasoline, Super 95, which is equipped with the latest and advanced technology, with products meeting the highest environmental standards. It is worth mentioning that the achievement will be largely to eliminate the need for Iraq to import oil. Russia becomes head of UN Security Council despite Ukraine's pleas. Russia assumed the rotating presidency of UN Security Council for the month of April on Saturday in spite of Ukraine's objections and requests to the members of the opposing of the procedure. America said it cannot prevent Russia as a permanent member of this council from taking the position, expressing hope that the Russian delegation will act professionally in this regard. Each of the 15 members of the council takes over the presidency of this institution for 1 month. Over 50 Christians and Muslims came forward to hold an interfaith iftar feast to promote peaceful coexistence and religious tolerance in Kaduna State in Nigeria. The ceremony was the fruit of joint efforts by several active journalists and peacemaking organizations, including Community Peace Action Network, CPAN. According to Samsun Awata, the coordinator of CPN, Ramadan Iftar provides a golden opportunity for promotion of spirituality and dialogues of peace and unity in the country. The event was attended by top Islamic and Christian scholars, key members of local organizations, as well as security and sports figures. We have reached the end of today's Shia Waves show. Let's remind our viewers of today's headlines. Shia Rights Watch concerned about increasing anti-Shia actions worldwide. Female-run radio station closed by the Taliban for broadcasting music in Ramadan. Celebrations do not stop anti-Muslim violence in India. World Autism Awareness Day. UN Secretary General's call for greater efforts. Iftar ceremony organized to encourage Muslim-Christian coexistence in Kaduna, Nigeria. You can view the latest news on Shia Waves website, and you can send news of your country or city to be published on our news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of the screen. This is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching, and we pray to Allah the Almighty to hasten the reappearance of our Master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.